and we are so very pleased that you have decided to visit us here in the subway.
The largest city in America where 2 million people call home, with more than 800 different languages.
That's right, but Roscoe and I here, we decided that we would speak to you in English, so we're hoping that that would work out okay with you today. All right, so you're in New York. Let me tell you, this is the most spectacular city that you will ever visit. We got anything you would want here. If you like skyscrapers,
We got 'em.
if you like museums and incredible parks,
We got 'em.
if you like Broadway musicals like you went to yesterday,
We got 'em.
that's right, but let me tell you, for Roscoe and myself, the very best thing here in New York is the New York Subway. That's right, it don't get no better than this. There are over 468 different subway stations here in New York. And you're just visiting one right here. This is Prince Street Station. You just came in off of Prince Street. I don't know if you know that, but you just came in off of Prince Street, right down here. Now, does anybody out there know why it's called the subway? No, okay, I love
Right there.
honesty.
Right
I
there.
love that in people. I got one here. Do you know why it's called the subway?
Because it's underground.
Oh, we got a spectacular genius in the crowd, Roscoe. We got us a genuine genius. Give a fist bump to the rat. There you go. That is right. If any of you didn't hear, it's called the subway because it is underground. Sub means that you are under something. And right here, this station here, you are 160 feet below the city. Those stairs went down really fast. I bet you didn't even know you went down 160 feet, did you? But we're down here and we are under the city. Up top, there's people going to their businesses. They're selling their pizza. They're doing their shopping. But we're down here and we're in the subway. All right, when you look at these trains and how far they go, do you know that there are over 600 miles of tracks here in New York City? You could go about anywhere that you would want to go, and all you got to do is ride the subway. And let me tell you, over 5 million people every day, they board a subway car, and that's how they get to work. That's how they go visit their friends. That's how some people go to school. Can you imagine if in the morning you got up and you got on a subway in order for you to go to school? That's how we live here in New York. That's how we roll. So we love our subway. It is really important to us. And Roscoe and I, we love it so much that we have decided to call this our home. That's right. We live right here. We live here in Soho. Now, Soho is a district in New York. We got all different areas in New York, and, you know, we want to give them a name that has a little spice to it, you know, something that'll be memorable. Well, Soho, that's the name of our district. Now, it's named that. I will educate you. I do not want you to be the usual tourists that are just bumbling around New York, not knowing where you're going. You are going to get educated here. We got Soho. The reason it's called that is because it is south of Houston Street. Get that? Soho. South of Houston. That makes sense. That makes total sense. But we got other areas that you might want to visit. You could visit NoHo. And who could guess where that is? Well, that is north of Houston. There you go. That makes sense too. Other districts you might want to visit. Norita. That little area is north of Little Italy. I gotta tell you, I love to visit Little Italy. You get you a slice of pizza. Ooh, one perfect slice. I could go for a slice right now, couldn't you? Yeah. All right, another area that you might want to visit is Tribeca. Now, Tribeca's a little harder to figure out why they called it that. It is because it is the triangle below Canal Street. So that's when you go to Tribeca, you are in the triangle right below Canal Street. And the final district that we want to tell you about, I gotta tell you, this one really threw me for a loop. Because here in New York, they call this area, what do they call it, Roscoe?
Dumbo.
They do, they call it Dumbo. So I go there, I'm expecting to see some flying elephants up in the air, you know what I mean? You guys know who Dumbo is, don't you? But it's not, there are no elephants. I go there, I look, there are no elephants. But it's because it is down under the Manhattan Bridge overpass. Dumbo, D-U-M-B-O, Dumbo. All right, so now you are educated tourists. That's right. That's the best kind to be. You are one step away from being a regular New Yorker. All right? But let me tell you, here in Soho, this area, this is our favorite area. Because Soho is known for its artists. And that's what Roscoe and I are. Now Roscoe here, he performs his art on the wall. He has drawn this whole beautiful picture for you. And this is his talent. This is how he shows what he can do best. So this is the way that Roscoe does his art. I myself, I dabble a little in the music with the little guitar. And Roscoe and I, we perform for people, and then they give us money. That's what we do down here in the subway. Roscoe and I live here, down here in the subway station. You want to show them your little area over there, Roscoe?
Right
with your
over
little
there.
friends?
You friends, 3 chicken strips.
That's right. He invites a few friends over, you know. They might eat a few pretzel scraps. It's a good time. It's a real good time. Well, most of the artists here in Soho, they're up top. And they're living in these big fancy lofts. But Roscoe and myself, we are... You okay there? All right. Roscoe and I, we are what you might call the struggling artists. We have not really kind of made our way in the world yet. So we prefer to just stay down here in this establishment. Well, let me tell you. One day, I'm playing my guitar, making some beautiful melodies. Roscoe's painting up a storm. And what happens is, people, they choose to give us money. To let us know, you know, it's pretty good what you're doing down there. And I'd like to show y'all a little appreciation. But the problem is, no matter how hard we work, the money that we get, none of this is the right type of payment to ride the subway. We've tried this. We've tried to have it be the right kind of payment, but it doesn't work. No matter how hard we try, nothing that we get for what we do is the right payment. So we sit here, and here's this beautiful train that is going to go to everywhere that we would want to go, but we don't have the right payment. So, okay, so you know our suffering now. This is what I'm telling you. But then, there was this day. You remember the day.
I remember the day, June 15th.
He remembers the day. So we're sitting here. It's a regular day. He's doing his little art thing up there on the wall. I'm doing my music thing, you know, doing the very best I can. And what happens is, somebody doesn't put the money in my case. They give me a book. And at the time, I did not know what type of book this is. But I have already learned that you are very educated. And I bet that there are people out there, you know what this book is, don't you? Who knows?
Bible.
There's a smart girl right there. All right. So I get this Bible. I don't know what it is, but I figure somebody appreciate me enough to give me a book. The least I can do is I can read it for them. You know what I'm saying? So I do that. And Roscoe joins me. And we start reading our Bible. And what happens is, we read about this man. And his name is music and painting. None of this payment was ever going to be the right type of payment for us to be able to ride the subway. It's never going to be enough what I can do. All I have to do is rely on Jesus, because Jesus is the only right payment that can be made for my sin, for your sin, for everybody's sin. Because Jesus was the only perfect one. And I want to give you a little reminder of that. I got some coins. Here, you're going to help. Now on this coin, there's something on there. Can you tell everybody what's on this little coin right here? It is. It's a cross. And each one of you is going to get one. And this is a reminder of the payment that Jesus made. That it can never be about what I do. I can work and try and be as good as I want, and I am never, ever, ever going to have the right payment. I can't do it. It had to be Jesus. He was the only one who could make the right payment, and he made his payment on the cross. All right.
Did everyone get one?
Yes.
Now you gotta trust me on something. Did you get one? Something? You gotta trust me on something, because Jesus made this payment, and it's all we have to do is ask. When you have messed up and you're pretty sure that you have not done what puts a smile in God's heart, like when you talk ugly to your brother and sister. Oh, sometimes we've done that, haven't we, Roscoe? Yeah. And when you've done that, and you know that you have sinned, all you have to do is you have to say, Jesus, I'm very sorry. I'm going to try to live by God's will. And He will give you the payment that's needed to be able to make all that sin go away. You will be forgiven. And it doesn't happen just once. You can be forgiven again and again and again. Now, in order for you to understand that Jesus is the only payment, we're going to take a little trip. The problem is, I have looked at the schedule, and this train is not leaving for 45 minutes. So we're going to make it into the subway, but we won't be traveling on the train right today, okay? So what you're going to do is you are going to let Jesus make your payment, that He is going to pay your way, then you can make your way on through, okay? Now, you remember that little girl named Dorothy, and she followed the yellow brick road? That's what you're going to do, okay? You made it through. Jesus made your payment. You're going to walk carefully along the yellow and make your way out. I got to warn you. You heard about the third rail? Third rail on the subway. You go touching that, you could get electrocuted. I'm totally serious. So you need to walk very carefully along the yellow path. Okay? All right. Let's practice this with Jesus making the payment for us. You can stand up, and you're going to get in a line here, and you're going to go through. Now, this is the tricky part. When you come back and you sit down, I want you to try and make the biggest circle right around here that you can do. We're going to see how educated you are, okay? All right. Let Jesus make your payment. You got to make your payment. Got it?